Hey fans, and welcome to the Matty Highland Smitty McQueen Sports Show on this fine Tuesday, December 6th. I almost had that right. First of all, I'm Matty Highland. This
Smitty
McQueen here. We've got a great lineup of news today. A big section of breaking news that I'm sure most sports fans have found out about today, and we will give our input and analysis on each of those. First, we're going to start with this breaking news. First things first, in the college football, Baylor hired Temple's head coach, Matt Rule. He guided the Owls to back-to-back 10-win seasons. Do you think this is a good hire?
It is. I think it's a great hire. He's going to get this program back on track. I mean, Baylor, we have seen go way downhill. He's going to get them back up, and we'll see what he does with a squad that has had success before. And now that he's down in Texas, you see a lot of great players down there. And so how will his recruiting be, all of that? There was talks that Oregon last night was really trying to push hard to get this guy. Didn't happen. I think there's a better guy for the Oregon job. But for Baylor, I think this is a well hire. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are. I really haven't talked to you today about the thoughts, but
it's college football that'll help Baylor out. Moving on from Arbor Isles.
Yeah,
that's all I can attest to that. I'm a KU fan. I don't care for Baylor, but when you can further on your career as a head football coach of any team, college, professional, whatever, kudos to you.
Yeah.
Especially moving up from Temple to Baylor, who Baylor is actually has been a very good, aside from the NCAA things, a very good football program. So there's that. We also had the Yankees. They announced that they will retire Derek Jeter's number 2 on May 14th.
Crazy.
It is also the last single-digit number the Yankees have yet to retire. That is incredible. They got just a myriad of talent.
Yes. Throughout the years, I think everyone knows that the Yankees are America's team in baseball. This is probably in my lifetime, obviously, their best single-digit player that I have seen. But this might be the best single-digit player in Yankees history for me. Just because, and it's the last one, so it kind of makes it even sweeter yet. Derek Jeter was one of the best ball players. I mean, you all know that. But there's so many that have came through that organization that have been good. Great to see the Yankees do this. I'm surprised they didn't do it last year or the year. Yeah. I mean, they've waited a few years, which most teams you've seen lately, Brett Favre, they just did his this year. But some of them, they did right away. And like Tim Duncan, he's going to have his retired on December 21st or 22nd, one of those days. And it's like, holy cow, these guys are getting their jerseys retired right away. Matt, we're going to keep it in the baseball. Winter meetings. This is the biggest part of this is the biggest week of the off season for MLB teams. For your team, you get scared. Is my team going to be buyers, sellers kind of in the off season? Are we going to are we going to try to rebuild our team? Are we going to try to up our team, get them good? I think today has been one of the craziest days in the winter meetings for a year or two. I mean, by far.
Because when you were updating your agenda, you had it done, and then we had to add to it once we heard about
all these things.
All these new things with the big names today. It's just
the first one.
So many things to talk about.
Yeah, the first one is the Red Sox acquired reliever Tyler Thornburg from the Brewers for some prospects. There was another guy on their MLB team that they got. I think this is a good move by the Red Sox, but this was not their biggest one of the day.
They shipped Travis Shaw with that.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Third baseman Travis Shaw.
Yes. The biggest one, though, the Red Sox were involved. And are the White Sox. It involves the White Sox, Boston Red Sox, and Chicago White Sox. So Red and White Sox both combined.
Get pink.
Would you think? Yeah. Would you think the White Sox are rebuilding now because of what happened today? Their ace pitcher, Chris Sale, most of you know, hard-throwing lefty, one of the best pitchers in the AL. And he's been in the AL Central.
He had a 3.04 ERA the last 3 seasons in the AL, which led the American League. That is impressive.
It is.
And to be that, like, as a lefty against opposing hitters, and more hitters have been shifting to being left-handed, and then they have these left-handed pitchers all of a sudden, and it just creates the matchups that are favorable for the pitchers.
Yeah, and talking about Chris Sale, late last night, sources said the Nationals were the serious team that was probably going to take Chris Sale, that was going to trade Sale, give some of their best prospects away, and then if they were going to do that, there was reports Gio Gonzalez would be traded, but that didn't happen because at 12 p.m. at noon today, Central Time, the Red Sox built momentum, and they were the favorite to land Chris Sale. Shortly after, 15 minutes later, the deal was done. Ken Rosenthal tweets out, 5-time All-Star Chris Sale traded to the Boston Red Sox for the Red Sox top prospect, number 1, Yohan Moncada, second baseman. He is the number 1 overall prospect in baseball to most people.
Yes, I agree.
And number 5, Michael Kopech. He's a right-handed pitcher. He is a right-handed pitcher. And then the number 8, Alexander Basabe, the outfielder, and Victor Diaz.
Yes.
Those, I feel like the White Sox just cashed in on a great deal.
I agree. Chris Sale is still young, but not young, like 23, 22 young.
Yeah.
He still has gas in that tank for probably another 5 years, assuming he's healthy.
Yeah.
The number shipping off your number 1 prospect, your number 5 prospect, and your number 8 prospect in return for a legit 5-time All-Star starting pitcher. You're right. The White Sox, they're rebuilding. They are.
Yep.
I agree. They are in the rebuilding process. They ship off their ace. They still have Quintana, but they ship off their ace. Then they get in return some very quality players that they've been looking for a second baseman.
Yeah, they have.
I pay attention to this.
And I just got a notification right as we were going live. Rick Hahn, the owner or the GM of the White Sox, says the Red Sox had been talking about Chris Sale for over a year, and they think Moncada can play second base or third base. And that is huge because they've got a shortstop by the name of Tim Anderson who came up last year who did pretty good for that team in the leadoff spot. It's really crazy because later on also ESPN at 145 said that popularity theory is White Sox leaked Sale and Nationals rumors so that they could get leverage, so the Boston Red Sox would leverage out their top prospects, and it happened. And then at 155, the Red Sox announced we will pay entire $31.2 million left on his deal, on Johan's deal, that's originally a $63 million deal. This guy might start he might start in the majors this year. I have not done enough research just because this has not been breaking news for that long. And I don't know much about it. I just know that he is the top prospect in almost everyone's Major League Baseball news. Todd Frazier now, their third baseman, 1:33 p.m. yesterday, I believe. No, that was today.
That was today.
MLBTradeRumors.com reported that the Dodgers have expressed interest in White Sox Todd Frazier. I think it definitely could be a scenario there, and that's not the only one.
I like you said, the White Sox are in the rebuilding process. They shipped off Chris Sale. They could ship off Todd Frazier.
Yep.
And they're not done. Like you said.
They're not done. Jose Abreu, and I love this. There is talks from late last night that the Rockies, yes, the Colorado Rockies, feel like they need a first baseman to replace Todd Helton pretty much. They haven't had very good success from a first baseman in the last few years. They had Justin Morneau the one year, and that was good. I mean, Justin Morneau did a good enough job. But this year, Mark Reynolds, he had his probably best all-around great season, but they're just not sold on that. They need more production from a first baseman at the plate. Jose Abreu fits that. It's very interesting. I think this could happen just because they are needing, Rockies are wanting a hardcore first baseman. I would love this. I've been saying this. My dad's a big White Sox fan. I called him last night. I said, Dad, this is a win-win for you because you're getting one of your favorite players for the White Sox to go to your other favorite team. So at least he's not going to someone you despise, like, you know, the Yankees or someone like that, because my dad's not a Yankees fan. Or the Dodgers or the Giants, you know, teams like that. But this is very good. I am so excited. I'm looking more, and that's not the only guy the Rockies have been looking at. Edwin Encarnacion's another guy they have reached out to. I'm just not sure if they can do it with Edwin Encarnacion. Is very deserving of a great paycheck. So you're going to have to keep your eye on that. That's pretty much the baseball news right now. I know you've got some other news. Go ahead with it.
Sticking with the golf world from yesterday, today Thomas Bjorn was named the Ryder Cup captain for 2018 for Team Europe. He has been a four-time, I think 4 straight years, 4 straight Ryder Cups being one of the vice captains, and that helped them win. I believe it was 4 straight. Something like that. I believe it was 4 straight until this year when the U.S. took over that again. He's helped them. They have a lot of good players. Darren Clark did a wonderful job this year. They just couldn't top the U.S. and Patrick Reed and Jordan Spieth, and DJ, and I could keep going on and on. But
yeah,
Thomas Bjorn, congrats to him. I'm sure he'll do fine. I've seen him play a few tournaments. I've watched some European Cup on Sunday sometimes, and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I just don't. Team USA, man. It gets competitive, especially in the golf world.
Yeah, you got
the
definitely
Olympics.
into that this year.
Yes.
Other news: Claire Smith wins the J.G. Taylor Spink Award. That is a top honor as a baseball writer. She becomes the first African-American female newspaper reporter to cover MLB on a daily basis to win this award. Awesome, awesome achievement. Awesome to experience it. Very much deserving. So congrats to Claire Smith. Matt, at 1:45 p.m. today, I think people kind of saw this maybe coming, maybe not. And the reason why is just because he still had a great year this year in college football, but it wasn't like most people thought. Most people thought he would be the one this weekend receiving this upcoming weekend receiving the Heisman Trophy Award. He's not.
Who is this?
Stanford's Christian McCaffrey.
Oof. Yeah, I thought I pegged him as a 4-year player.
I kind of did too, just because
his family is blessed with talent. That whole family.
Ed McCaffrey, one of my favorite receivers to ever watch.
His younger brother just received his scholarship, youngest McCaffrey brother, to receive a scholarship from Michigan. I read that today. So maybe he'll play in Michigan. Maybe he'll play at Stanford. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll go to KU. Please. I don't see that happening, but it's worth a try.
Yes, it is. And then I'll let you, the most recent sad news.
Yeah, here about 2 hours ago, former Heisman Trophy winner from Colorado and former Bears running back Rashawn Salam, he has died at the age of 42. He was drafted by the Bears in the first round in 1995. Sad day for Colorado.
Yeah.
One of their best players, like you said.
Yeah.
One of the best players to ever play at CU. I know Brent is probably feeling the same way after hearing this.
Yeah, and a lot of talks from, obviously, reporters I follow covering the Rockies, they are very upset or, disappointed, just they can't believe what happened, that he has died. Another, like someone said, another tragic loss in the sports world. We've had plenty of those here lately.
At least 2 this week. And
yeah.
Hopefully it's not anymore. Or within the last week, if it's not anymore.
Yep. Matt, that's all our breaking news for now. We had a Monday night game. I guess you would call it a Monday night game because...
You should call it a game.
I was thinking more practice. But yes, last night was the Jets and the Colts. Matt, our weekly record went to 7-5. We did not get this right.
I thought the Jets' defense could withstand maybe Andrew Luck coming back from his first game back from having sustaining that concussion. Boy, were we wrong.
Very wrong.
Andrew Luck, he just threw 4 touchdown passes, 3 to Dwayne Allen.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. They routed the Jets 41-10, and that is just.
And the backup quarterbacks finished the game.
Yeah, that is. Bryce Petty actually has been said. They have said that he is going to start the final 4 games of the season.
Not surprised.
No,
this needs to happen.
He gets a chance to prove himself, to prove what he is worth on that team for their future. Looking forward. Definitely.
This was a huge win for the Colts. They now are a 3-way tie in the AFC South with the Texans and the Titans.
Weak.
This is going to be it is a weak South, AFC South, but it's going to be a fun race to watch because each of them play each other. It's like this weekend,
one of them teams,
Colts and Texans.
Yeah, the playoff implications. One of these teams is most likely going to be the 4th seed.
Yep.
In the AFC. Unless the Steelers and Ravens both just fall off the face of the earth.
Yep.
Then 4th seed, that's still a home game. And these teams at home, Texans have home field advantage to their big time. And
Texans, I think, are the favorite still just because they have not lost a division game. But I'm not sold on their offense. Their offense, I'm not sold on. Brock Osweiler has not lived up to the hype. That is definitely a race to be watching. We have more playoff scenarios later on here. Definitely for you, Matt. Let's go ahead. It's the end of the NFL Week 13. Why don't you give us your weekly power rankings as we get ready for Week 14?
Week 14 power rankings. Looking back, the teams that are right now, as of today, I will give the 5 best teams because 6 through 10 are still
up in the air.
They're in it could be any of them,
and
they're in that second tier of teams in my opinion. This is another week where the Cowboys are on top. They are 11-1. They have 1 loss. First week of the season, they have not looked back. They stay at number 1. Raiders are at 2 because of that offense, and they're healthy.
Yep.
The offensive line has given Derek Carr plenty of time to throw, and Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, and even Seth Roberts have benefited. Then the Patriots at number 3. Yes, Gronk is out. And Martellus Bennett is not 100%, but he's been reliable for them and a solid pickup, like we've stated before. Here's where I have to go at number 4. I have to go with the Chiefs. ESPN does not respect the Chiefs enough to put them in the top 5 after going to Denver, beating Denver at their place. Yes, it was a field goal that hit the upright and barely made it in, squeaked in, but they went there and a win's a win. Then they traveled to Atlanta, the highest powered offense in the country, and the Chiefs win that basically because of Eric Berry.
Yeah,
and they still fall to they fell one spot in ESPN's power rankings. I don't agree with that. Chiefs are 4. Big 30 times big matchup Thursday night, Chiefs Raiders. Number 5 to finish out my top 5 of the power rankings, Seahawks. They won. They're 8-3-1. Yes, they lose Earl Thomas for the year. They still have a solid defense. And that 12th man really helps if they can get that 2 seed in that NFC. Look out.
I've got the Cowboys at 1, Patriots at 2. Cowboys are looking to clinch the NFC East, obviously, this weekend against New York. In New York, that's the team that beat them. And if you really look back at that game, Cowboys would have had a chance to win had Terrence Williams got out of bounds.
Yep.
Dan Bailey is a great field goal kicker. It was in his range. Dan Bailey is pretty accurate when it comes to needing a field goal. So I feel like the Cowboys are going to go into this week with a big chip on their shoulder from that. Obviously, they're looking to also win the division for the second time in the last 3 years. I got Patriots, at 2. Until someone beats them, I really think New England's the second best team because you can never count out Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. I'm sorry. Even if Gronk's out, we've seen it enough. We have seen this enough with this franchise with those two. I mean, those two, that's where it begins. And if LeGarrette Blount keeps doing what he's done this year, they're going to be good because they've got the tandem passing game and the rushing game. Yes, it set them back a little without Gronk, but Martavis Bennett is going to have to step in. I've got the Raiders at 3, followed by the Chiefs. I don't know. Last week I had the Seahawks at 4. I've jumped them back 1. I think it's just to set up the matchup this week. In my power rankings, you want to see the 3 and 4 teams play each other. So that's why I bumped them up 1. One of those teams is probably going to fall down, obviously after this week. Unless it's that good of a game, close to the game. And then Seahawks, 5. Seahawks, Earl Thomas, I feel like is going to hurt them a little. I don't know if it'll be all that much. And then to round out mine, this is just to round it out, Broncos at 6, Steelers 7, Lions at 8, Ravens at 9, and then the Falcons at 10. Buccaneers are right there with the Falcons. I've got them first. Yeah, I got them tied at 10 in mine. I don't have it on my script, but that's how I got it. Those two teams, the winner of this week, if one wins, one loses, they'll just, that's when they'll fall under each other, above one, below one. That's mine. I know a lot of people are disgusted with ESPN power rankings. Like I said, these are power rankings. Wait till the big playoffs, and then that's when you guys, everyone can talk, and that's when ESPN will feel bad for what they have done. So, yes, Matt. Do you have your playoff picture? Did you want to cover that today? I didn't even talk to you about that. We can always do it Thursday if we have to. If you got it up, awesome.
I've been going through my scenarios with the NFL playoff machine that is on ESPN, which is very nice. And being a stats guy, like both of us are, we love digging into the stats and every analytics and all these kinds of things. I love it, and I don't think I do have it here. Maybe.
And we'll get more into this Thursday night when we call in. We are gonna. Good, he's got it coming up. Thursday night is going to be our call-in show for you fans. We're going to do that at 5:30, I think, because the Chiefs play, obviously.
Yes,
so
I'm not missing the Chiefs.
He doesn't want to miss that. So 5:30 Thursday night, Central Time. Mark your calendars. You guys call in. We'll take calls for 45 minutes to an hour, but we'll also dive into these playoff rankings a little more. He's just going to we're going to give our takes. We both kind of got the same thing. We'll give our playoff opinions. We obviously know there's teams that have been eliminated. Recently, the Jets this weekend and the Jaguars. Matt, go ahead.
So the playoff picture as it stands right now in the AFC. Oakland is actually the first team based off the conference games. New England is 2, Baltimore 3, Houston 4, the 4 division winners right now.
If it ended
today. Wild card would be Kansas City and then Denver. And that is incredible with the AFC West being that high caliber division this year. Then you have the teams in the hunt like Miami, Pitt, Tennessee, Buffalo, Indy after winning, and then San Diego. Even though they lost, they're still technically, if they win out,
They get help.
If they get help, they can still make it. I played out each game in stats-wise and futuristics-wise, predicted the matchups. And my prediction for the AFC is going to finish as this for the seeding. New England will get the 1 seed at 13-3. Kansas City will get the 2 seed at 13-3. Me and Seth Kincaid have gone through that. We went through this on the playoff machine. The reason New England has the edge in that, in the common game, it goes head to head. They didn't play each other this year. Then it goes AFC opponents, and they are the same. Then they go common games, like the record in the AFC, I should say. Then it's common games, and that New England has the edge right there. So that's why they have that. Baltimore wins the North. Indy wins the South. Baltimore's 3. Indy is 4. Oakland goes to 5 because even though they're still 10-2 right now, the 2 and 5, or either one could be 2 or 5. Really, I like the Chiefs better after they win this week. Then Pitt sneaks in with that offense and the defense coming around huge, especially against the Giants. They're surging at the right time. Pittsburgh 6. Then in the NFC, your Cowboys are 1 as of right now. Yep. Seattle 2, Detroit 3, Atlanta 4. All the division winners. Atlanta's got the tiebreaker over Tampa
for the time
being. New York 5, Tampa Bay 6. In the hunt, everybody but Chicago.
Yeah.
And 49ers. Predicted the games like I did in the AFC. I finished with Dallas at 1 because if they keep winning, their offense, they'll be 1. Seattle 2. Dallas is too far ahead. They're still 3 games ahead, and there's 4 games to play. That I give the advantage to Dallas. Dallas 1, Seattle 2, Atlanta 3. I think they go undefeated these last 4 games based off their schedule, with the Rams, the 49ers, the Panthers, and the Saints to finish out the year. It could happen. Detroit finishes the 4th seed. New York 5. Washington sneaks in over Tampa Bay, gets the 6th seed.
Yeah, you look at Tampa, their schedule is definitely...
They are at home against the Saints.
Come to Dallas.
Go to Dallas.
On Sunday
night with the flex. That's awesome. Very good matchup. Then they travel to the Saints again, or play the Saints again in New Orleans. Finish the year at home against the Panthers. Those are not surefire wins.
Those are 4 tough games.
4 tough matchups
against
based
3
off
tough opponents.
Drew Brees twice.
Who struggled this last week. I mean, that is a game.
Surprisingly struggled.
He definitely has struggled last week, and that's something you don't see out of Drew Brees. He's going to be lighting it up the rest of the year because they're not eliminated. Yes, they need some help, but they're not mathematically eliminated. So they definitely are a team to keep your eyes on. But yeah, I think it's great. We have this. We'll try to get more into the playoff scenario. We didn't really talk about this much today, and I didn't even have it in the script. That's my fault. But yeah, the football playoffs. The playoffs are here, folks. I mean, they are
1 month away.
Yeah, they're right around the corner. I'm not gonna pick my Super Bowl yet. I'm waiting until the playoffs get here. I think
I'll go ahead because I've dug into it. With those being said, those predictions being said, I would have to go with the teams the teams going for it in the AFC would be Pitt over Baltimore. Pitt in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. Very good quality game. I think the Chiefs get revenge.
Get it?
At home.
And they're in 51.
Then the NFC, Dallas just sweeps. They are too good. They've got an excellent backup quarterback, and they're
no backup now. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, the offensive line is just tremendous at what they do. If the defense can not give up points and not force the offense to make it a shootout, Dallas is going to win. I don't think Seattle's offense can.
Not with Earl out.
Yeah,
that hurts.
That helps.
That hurts.
They've only got Cam and
Seahawks.
Sherman.
You know, Matt, you just picked the Chiefs and Cowboys. Do you realize how big of a show those 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl would be? This would be a awesome matchup.
I do realize.
You guys would have one of the best shows probably ever just because we'd be dueling it out. We might even have to, we've talked, if that would happen, we might be heading down to Houston just to be there for the playoff
Might have to cover that live.
Yeah, we might have to be there live.
It is a huge game.
It'll be an awesome, awesome event. Hey, both teams still have a lot to prove.
There's reasons they play the games.
Yes. It would be
Nothing's
awesome.
surefire yet.
It would be awesome. Because next year they play each other. And I think that game is going to be in Jerry World. So we're already going to be making a trip down. We've already said that. So, hey, why not 2 times in 1 year? Except this would be Houston, not Dallas. So, yeah, it'd be fun.
Yes.
Matt, NFL, we'll put Week 13 to rest. Man, NFL season's almost done. That's hard to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the best time of the year, especially when your teams are doing good. You love this time of year, but also it gets very stressful and, you're biting those nails, nerves kick in, all that good stuff. But so far our teams are looking good. At least you make the postseason. I mean, my team's in there. Yours is just a win or 2 away. So they're going to be in. College football, though. We talked a little yesterday about the playoff committee selection for the playoffs, but we didn't talk a lot about the bowl games. And there's some bowl games where I think some people are upset. Oh, yes.
You skipped something.
I did skip something. Sorry about that.
We're still going to be in college football.
We'll be talking college football. The bowl games will come just after this.
This weekend.
This Saturday night.
Yes.
This Saturday night, the Heisman Trophy winner will be awarded. Last evening, they were announced on the ESPN right before on Monday Night Countdown. Here are the 5 finalists. We were kind of shocked. We thought, in past years it's only been like 3. So this shows that the voting is really close, I feel like.
Just like one of the commentators last night
Yeah.
on Monday Night Countdown.
Yeah. You got Louisville. Obviously the favorite, I think, to win it all. Quarterback Lamar Jackson. He's by far the favorite.
51 touchdowns responsible for.
Over 4,000 yards, too, I believe, this year.
Over 3,000 passing yards, over 1,500 rushing yards. First person to do that since 2012, Jordan Lynch from Northern Illinois, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
What a stud, actually.
Then we got 2 players from Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma. Quarterback Baker Mayfield, who has already announced he's coming back for his senior year.
Solid.
And his number 1 target, the wide receiver, D.D. Westbrook.
Who's a senior and sadly can't come back.
Yeah, but it's going to make a good living in the NFL.
Yes, I agree.
Then you got
the
Michigan.
Chiefs.
You got Michigan's linebacker, Jabril Peppers.
Running back, linebacker.
Yeah, and
he
many
plays
other
everywhere.
things.
He's played quarterback.
Yeah. And then on top of it, this was a no-doubter. Clemson's quarterback, Deshaun Watson, who finished second last year. I feel like, Matt, he is the one that could win this thing besides Lamar Jackson. Because he has led his club, his squad, back to...
He's the only one in the college football playoff.
Yeah. And he's been there now 2 years. I think the committee, the voters, I think, look into that a little. But I think at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson will win just because of his year. I mean, he meant so much to Louisville.
One thing that I take away from this,
Yes.
3 quarterbacks, no running backs. And I'm not saying running backs are as high profile as a quarterback. Quarterback is the playmaker on the offense. He directs the traffic. But Deonta Foreman, thank you, J.R. Munson, for bringing this up. He was the leading rusher in the nation this whole year. Doesn't even get in the top 5. I'm curious to see if he was number 6.
I'm sure he was and I feel like another guy got snubbed, and I'm not saying that he was a quarterback. Jake Browning.
Yep.
I think by far, I mean, he of all people he had one of his best years, like Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson.
And he's in the college football
playoff. Yeah, he's in there too. Right now, according to the ESPN experts poll, they had Deonta Foreman at 5. They had Jake Browning at 6. They had Jabril Peppers way down the line. They had him at, what was it? It was
number 9.
It looks like 9, yes. He was number 9.
10, yes.
10. So that's a shock, I think, to them. Jabril Peppers was definitely getting a lot of the hype, but then here the last 3-4 weeks he hasn't been so much. But the committee, the voters must think that he is right up there, and he's very deserving. I mean, I don't think anyone would say he's not deserving of the award because of what he does. It's just hard to see a defensive player get it. So the Heisman Trophy, will wait for that. That is Saturday. I think 7 o'clock, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, obviously.
Now we can move on to what he tried talking about, the college football bowl games.
And before we get into this, do you feel like the committee snubbed some teams of their bowl maybe? Or do you think that they got pretty much all of them right?
They did not get everyone right. No one's going to be happy. I can't stress that enough even with a possible expansion with the playoff system. No one's going to be happy. We have a good friend, Brent, who's not happy with the Colorado selection. But if you feel like you got snubbed as a team, go out and prove that you are worth anything and go kick the living crap out of the team that you're going to play. Just make the most out of that moment.
Yes.
Make the most out of that opportunity and show them what you really were made of, and don't go pouting at home.
Agree.
That's as simple as I can put that.
And I think you're going to see teams do that.
I'm mad that KU didn't get an opportunity. I'm just kidding. I know they weren't bowl eligible.
But here's some of them. And I know the Buff fans think they got snubbed on this. And, you probably did. The thing the committee looked at, I think, in this is the head-to-head. And that is why Colorado got stuck in the Alamo Bowl. I don't know if that's to me, I would be disappointed we didn't get a playoff selection, obviously. But, yes, you got to just go out and prove that, hey, we were deserving of this. The Buffs, yes, they only moved back 2 spots. However, USC beat them, and USC's on a, what did we say yesterday, 9-game winning streak, I believe. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really good.
That's correct.
And USC is the only team that beat Colorado and Washington. So, that's where I think USC gets the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
And I think the money plays a big opportunity too. It is, USC gets the Rose Bowl. They're right in Pasadena, right there. I mean, it's like a home game for them.
It's the money.
Yep.
I don't want to say anything else.
Yep.
Let's just get to these.
Oklahoma State plays Colorado though. Alamo Bowl.
That's going to be a good matchup.
Yes.
12 team versus the 10 team.
Big 12 matchup from years ago. Yeah.
I'm sure they might have played each other a few times and they know what it's like. Some people, if they're on the coaching staff, they could have been there.
Yeah. Then you got the Capital One Orange Bowl. In Michigan, a lot of teams, they're 6, thought they should be in the college football playoff because they were one of the best teams. I don't think they have as much argument as Penn State. And yes, they beat Penn State, but Penn State went out and won the conference championship, also beat Ohio State. Florida State is number 11. That's who they get. That should be another good. All these bowl games are going to be fun, I think, and great ones. Yes. The Outback Bowl, number 17 Florida, who lost to Bama, didn't lose, got crushed by Bama, gets to face a very talented Iowa Hawkeyes team who Colin Cowherd needs to win because of his wager he did.
We want to disclose the details.
Yeah,
because he didn't disclose.
He needs Iowa to beat Florida so he wins his wager. So that is definitely and Iowa is a great team, very talented. They're the ones that beat Michigan, spoiling their chances at a shot at the playoff. And so Iowa is definitely out to prove something. They're a great team. I've seen them play. They are very physical. Watch out for them. Cotton Bowl. This is kind of this and the Rose Bowl, these are kind of the two biggest ones. If you don't get in the college football playoff, we finally see Western Michigan in a big bowl, undefeated, go up against the runners-up in the Big Ten Conference Championship, the Wisconsin Badgers at number 8. Should be a great one. And then the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl, you got number 9 USC against Penn State. I feel like Penn State should be in the college football playoff. I've talked about that. This is probably my favorite bowl game to watch.
The Rose Bowl or the
Rose Bowl right now. Of not the semifinal games, this is by far
outside the playoff.
Yep, this is by far. And then you end with the Sugar Bowl, number 14 Auburn, taking on the 7th ranked Oklahoma Sooners, who won the Big 12.
Before you get to the playoff bowls, we have a comment on here from Mr. Spencer Delgado. He said that he wants us to talk about the Nebraska-Tennessee game. They play in the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl, and on I believe it's December 30th at 3:30 p.m. on ESPN in Nashville. Nebraska takes on Tennessee, and Tennessee's ranked number 21. Nebraska has some good players, and I think Nebraska defeats Tennessee and gets it done. And I'm going to take Nebraska, Spencer. I hope you enjoy that. Hopefully they get it done.
Armstrong's going to be the biggest key for me.
Yeah, if he plays.
If Nebraska wins. If he plays, yes. I think Nebraska does get the win. If he doesn't, I don't know. I haven't done much research on the Bulls.
No, me neither,
so we will definitely yes, totally. And we'll, Spencer, for you and the Husker fans or Tennessee Vol fans, if we have any of you out there, we will have bowl selections throughout our show as they come along. I mean, these games aren't for another 2 weeks. So I think the first one's in a week from Saturday, I believe, is the first bowl game. So yes, definitely be checking in. We'll have some bowl games. I'm sure you guys are some of you do bowl pick'ems, Give us your opinion. Give us your opinion against ours. And you can call in. That's when Thursday night, usually Wednesdays, Thursdays you can call in and talk about it. Matt, I mean, we can talk a little about the semifinal games. We've talked a little.
Everyone knows it.
Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. The Huskies of Washington, number 4, go up against the favorite, number 1, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Both of these teams are deserving, I feel like. Would you agree?
Solid matchups here throughout both games of the playoff, and we're both deserving. You're correct.
Of these two,
I got to research some more.
Yeah,
I want to look at matchups.
We will definitely have a show where we dive into stuff on this, because these are obviously the teams that are going for the national championship. And even though you don't like Ohio State being a 3, you don't like Washington being a 4, hey, that's who you got. You know, root against them then and hope your team wins a bowl game, because that's where you're going to get all your hype. Where, hey, we should have been in there, you know. That's where it comes. And then the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, number 3, Ohio State. Some people feel like they should have been punished even to number 4.
I believe so.
I do too. At least a 4, if not
5 or 6.
Kicked out. Yeah.
They didn't play in
Penn State, get in.
Championship. We'll get onto that.
Yes. And then number 2,
time.
Clemson, the Tigers.
Go
I think
Tigers.
they're that's who I'm probably pulling
I'm rooting for the whole thing. I will let you know that right now. I'm rooting for Clemson.
I like their coach. I love Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson is a solid player.
They've got a great team. Yeah, I think everyone's going with anyone but Bama maybe. And then if you're upset, if you're a Penn State, you know, Oklahoma fan, you're probably like, Ohio State, get out. You're not deserving.
Fans,
yeah.
like that.
So anyway, Matt, that's kind of the bowl picks, the big ones. Like we said, we'll have more. Why don't you go ahead and give us our look ahead to Wednesday?
We will be looking ahead to tomorrow's show with, of course, we'll have breaking news, hot topics. I'm assuming we will have some more MLB news.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yes.
There's guys out there, Jose Batista, Edwin Encarnacion,
Jose Abreu.
Yep. Trumbo.
Wade Davis.
Just tons
Danny
of stuff.
Duffy.
Yeah, there's some. We might even dig into some of those rumors more. You know, as they come along.
Then we have our Throwdown Wednesday NBA rankings and any other hot games tomorrow, or if Klay Thompson scores 60 3/4 again.
Yeah, he went off last night.
Then we'll have Slapshot Wednesday hockey NHL rankings for you hockey aficionados.
I'm going to go ahead on the NBA, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. We are going to discuss who the Warriors should keep if it comes down to keeping 2 of the big 3 they have. Or 4. 2 of the big 4. Who are the 2 they should keep? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that is a topic for tomorrow.
Good topic. And then we'll have breaking news again.
Sorry about that. Someone, if you want to apply to be a script writer, go ahead. Shoot us a Facebook thing. That would be awesome.
Give you Snapple.
Yeah. Yeah, we got plenty of Snapple for you. So anyway, yeah. No, if you want, that's cool. It would make life a lot easier on me, and I know probably him too, but especially me. Yeah, so that's our Wednesday edition here, or Tuesday, jeez. And that's our Tuesday edition. And once again, our fan Wednesday night will not be this Wednesday. It'll be Thursday night, 5:30. And then we'll go back to the Wednesday edition at 7 o'clock. This week
we have a Fort Hays
basketball game.
Speaking of, before we close, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Fort Hays stuff tonight. We have FHSU intramurals is tonight. It's a Super Tuesday. We have Wee Doubles Bowling in the Cunningham 113. It's around the office. If you go over there, we have that. There's also volleyball, intramural volleyball going on right now, so look forward to that. And then if you want to join intramurals or be involved with intramurals, go talk to Mr. Ron Haig. I know
Ron's a great dude.
All y'all FHSU students know who he is, so go talk to him. I had to make sure I got this section in.
Yeah, and then they're doing a bowl pick on for those of you that are campus students. Definitely get your name in there and get your tail into the office and get a bowl sheet, fill it out, take it back, fill it out online. That's when you can brag right. You don't have to know college football to do that. I mean, all you do is circle a team,
flip a coin,
yeah, just like March Madness, pretty much the brackets. So anyway, make sure you follow us on Twitter, MHSM Sports Show, our Facebook page, Matty Highland Smitty McQueen Sports Show. Also, the same thing on YouTube, Matty Highland Smitty McQueen Sports Show. Need to get more videos up. Finals are kicking in, so don't have much time to do that. So if someone wants to upload videos, cool, contact us. Anyway, yeah, for
Matty Highland
Smitty McQueen, we thank you for tuning in today. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. It's hump day.